Chosen one, God is not allowing chosen ones to skip this at any cost. There are seasons in life where the path ahead looks optional, like you can delay, negotiate, or find a shortcut. But this is not one of them. This is one of those rare, divinely orchestrated assignments where heaven itself has placed an unshakable seal on your journey. No matter how much you try to bypass it, no matter how much you wish you could skip ahead to the reward, there is a lesson here that cannot be missed without consequence. You are in a divinely appointed chapter, and skipping it is not just a missed opportunity. It is the risk of missing the very transformation you have been praying for. This moment carries weight in the spiritual realm. It is not random. It is a precise, intentional design to shape you, prepare you, and align you with something bigger than you have dared to imagine. Before we dive deeper into this message, I want you to stay with me until the very end of this video. You are not here by accident. These words are here to speak directly to your spirit. And I want you to participate in activating what is being released today. Write your warmest wishes in the comments, along with the numbers 99 and 777. These numbers carry a spiritual frequency of completion, alignment, and blessing. By writing them, you are publicly declaring that you are ready to receive, ready to align, and ready to see your wishes coming true and energizing the universe around you. This video is part of a greater series designed to empower you, help you manifest your desires, and position you for the breakthrough that is already in motion. The truth is, the process you are in right now is not a detour, it is the route. You may feel like you are stuck in repetition, walking the same road, meeting the same resistance. But the reason God will not allow you to skip this is because what you are learning here will become the very foundation that will hold up the blessing when it comes. If the blessing arrives before the foundation is laid, it will collapse under its own weight. Heaven is protecting you from that kind of collapse. There is a hidden kindness in the delay, a protective wisdom in the process, even if it feels uncomfortable. Think about it. If you skip the workout, you don't build the muscle. If you skip the rehearsal, you're not ready for the stage. And in this moment, your spirit is being conditioned, trained, and equipped for a reality you haven't even fully pictured yet. The growth that is happening now is not visible to everyone else. They may see you in the same place you were last year, but spiritually, mentally, and emotionally, you are being rewired. God's hand is on the details, shaping how you think, how you respond, how you believe. This is why certain opportunities may have been removed from your reach. You might have seen others walk straight into doors you wanted, wondering why yours stayed shut. But the truth is, what's meant for them may not require the same preparation as what's meant for you. Your door is bigger, heavier, and built to lead to a destiny that demands more of you. God will not hand you that kind of door key until you have the strength to carry it without it breaking you. You may feel pressure building right now, but this pressure is not here to crush you. It's here to refine you. Diamonds are formed under pressure. The strongest swords are forged in the hottest fires. Every challenge, every test, every delay you're facing is part of that forging process. And here's the mystery. The moment you truly surrender to it, the process accelerates. Fighting it slows it down. Resisting it turns days into months and months into years. But leaning in, choosing to learn, choosing to trust, is what turns this into the breakthrough season you've been waiting for. And here's something you must understand. The at any cost part of this isn't about punishment. It's about value. What God is bringing into your life is too valuable to arrive in an unprotected, unfinished state. It's like shipping priceless glassware without packaging. Heaven loves you too much to do that. The cost of skipping this would be greater than the cost of enduring it. That is why no amount of pleading, bargaining, or strategizing will make this chapter disappear. It must be lived, experienced, absorbed, and completed. In fact, some of the situations you've been praying to escape are not cages. They are classrooms. And every time you ask, "Why am I still here?" the answer is, because the lesson is not complete. Once it is, the door will open so naturally you'll wonder why you ever feared being stuck. The timing will feel almost sudden, but it will be the natural release that comes when you've become the person the next chapter requires. The people around you may not understand this process. They may call you stubborn for staying the course, or foolish for not taking the shortcuts. But the chosen ones know shortcuts cut short the blessing. You cannot fast forward divine timing without losing part of its power. There is a kind of maturity that only comes from walking through, not around, and this is the path you are on now. You may have noticed that certain distractions have been stripped away. Relationships that used to pull you off track no longer have the same hold. Opportunities that would have led you in the wrong direction have dried up. Even your own desires are shifting. Things you once chased no longer excite you. This is part of the divine pruning, removing what cannot go with you, so that when the breakthrough arrives, there is no dead weight holding you back. And yes, it's uncomfortable. Growth always is. But discomfort is proof of transformation. If you were comfortable right now, you'd be standing still. The stretching you feel is your capacity expanding. The uncertainty you feel is your faith muscles growing stronger. The loneliness you feel is the sacred separation that always happens before a promotion. You are not losing, you are being positioned. You are not stuck. You are in divine suspension, held in place until everything aligns. You are not forgotten. You are hidden for your own protection until the unveiling moment arrives. When that moment comes, and it will, you will see why none of this could be skipped. You will realize that the wisdom you have now, the strength you've built, the discernment you've sharpened, all came from walking the road you wanted to avoid. You will meet the version of yourself that this process created, and you will thank God you didn't take the easy way. So today, instead of asking, "When will this end?" start asking, "What am I still meant to see here?" Instead of fighting the process, flow with it. Instead of longing for the next chapter, live fully in this one, knowing that every day spent here is a day of divine construction in your life. And above all, trust this. God is not allowing you to skip this because He loves you too much to give you less than the fullness of what you are capable of carrying. At any cost means at any cost. Even the cost of your comfort, your timeline, and your plans. What is being built in you now is priceless. It is worth the wait, and when the release comes, it will not be fragile, fleeting, or partial. It will be solid, lasting, and complete. There is something powerful about staying in the place God has planted you, even when every part of you wants to move on. The chosen ones understand that progress is not always measured by motion. Sometimes the greatest forward leap is hidden in what looks like stillness. This stillness is not stagnation, it is sacred incubation. You are not being ignored, you are being prepared. And the kind of preparation happening here cannot be rushed. It is the kind that transforms you from the inside out, so that when your season of release comes, you walk into it unshakable. Many people fail to see the value in the unseen years. They think if no one notices, if no one applauds, if there are no outward signs of success, then nothing important is happening. But for a chosen one, the invisible seasons are the most important ones. This is when your roots grow deep, when your character is tested, when your endurance is stretched. Skipping this would be like building a tall tower on shallow ground. The moment the wind blows, it collapses. And you were not born to collapse. You were born to endure. That's why certain prayers have been answered with silence. Not because you are unworthy of the answer, but because the answer is in the process, not the outcome. If God simply handed you the blessing without the refining, you would enjoy it for a moment and then lose it. Heaven is not in the business of temporary victories. What is coming to you is meant to last, to multiply, to feed generations after you. And for that to happen, you must be unshakable when you hold it. There are chosen ones who tried to skip their preparation, and the result was heartbreak. They ran ahead of timing, grasped at the promise before it was ripe, and ended up losing what they had been given. The pain of losing something prematurely is heavier than the pain of waiting. That is why God is not allowing you to skip this stage. Your destiny is too important to risk on impatience. In this space, you are being taught how to read the signs, the subtle, quiet signals that most people miss. You are learning to recognize when a door is truly meant for you and when it's a trap dressed up as opportunity. You are learning the difference between temporary excitement and lasting fulfillment. This discernment will become one of your greatest weapons. Without it, you would be swayed by every voice, every opinion, every glittering distraction that crosses your path. With it, you will move with precision, knowing exactly what is yours and what is not. There is also a deeper training happening, the training of your inner resilience. You are learning how to keep going without applause, how to keep showing up when no one is watching, how to keep believing when nothing visible supports your faith. These are the skills that cannot be learned in the spotlight. They can only be learned in the quiet, uncelebrated seasons where your only audience is heaven. And here is the truth you may not want to hear. The delay is not punishment, it is strategy. You are not falling behind, you are being positioned ahead. It just doesn't look that way from the outside. From the outside, it may look like others are overtaking you, reaching milestones you haven't touched yet. But in the spiritual realm, you are being taken on a path that ensures you arrive at the right place, at the right time, carrying the right strength, with the right people by your side. You cannot afford to envy someone else's timing. Their path is not your path, their pace is not your pace, and their calling is not your calling. Some are allowed to skip steps because their mission requires less of them. But the chosen ones who are called to carry great weight cannot bypass the strengthening process. The more valuable the cargo, the stronger the vessel must be. And you, chosen one, are being built to carry treasure. So when you feel the urge to rush, to force, to manipulate the timing, pause. Remember that what is at stake is greater than your temporary comfort. Remember that what's being built in you will outlast the waiting. The cost of patience now is nothing compared to the cost of unpreparedness later. You may not see it yet, but the day will come when you realize that every tear, every delay, every closed door was a gift. It was the scaffolding around the masterpiece being built in you. And when it's time, the scaffolding will come down and the world will see what heaven has been working on all along. That unveiling moment will not be small. It will not be subtle. It will be the kind of release that cannot be denied. The kind where even those who doubted you will have no choice but to acknowledge the hand of God on your life. And in that moment, you will know, without question, that it was worth not skipping a single step. One of the greatest deceptions in our modern world is the idea that faster is always better. We are surrounded by messages that tell us to hurry, to skip to the end, to chase instant results. But heaven's pace is different. Divine timing doesn't bend to human impatience, and for the chosen ones, that timing is even more precise. It's not just about arriving, it's about arriving transformed. God is not in the business of delivering half-baked destinies. He finishes what he starts, and that includes the work he is doing in you. If you think about it, every great creation in nature requires time. A seed does not become a tree overnight. Seasons must pass, roots must grow, storms must be endured. And you, chosen one, are no different. The season you are in is not random delay. It's the planting season, the rooting season, the strengthening season. Skipping it would mean forfeiting the depth and stability you will need later. When God says, "You cannot skip this," it is because there is something in this stage that cannot be replicated later. Some lessons, some strengths, and some revelations only come when you are walking through the very thing you wish you could avoid. If you bypass it, you miss the shaping. And without the shaping, you might still receive the blessing, but you wouldn't have the character to keep it. This is why certain doors have remained locked. It is why some relationships you thought were permanent have dissolved. It is why even your own desires have shifted in ways you did not plan. Heaven is editing your story in real time, removing the lines and characters that do not belong in the next act. And yes, that editing hurts. Letting go of what you thought you needed is never easy, but you are being prepared for what you truly need. And that's a much greater gift. The chosen ones often face seasons where everything feels stripped away. It's not because God is against you, it's because He is making sure nothing else competes with His work in your life. Distractions, false comforts, and temporary fixes are being cleared out so that your focus is sharp, your spirit is tuned, and your vision is undiluted. You may feel empty right now, but that emptiness is the clearing needed for something greater to be built. There's also a law at play here. The law of divine readiness. Heaven will not release what you are not ready to hold. This is not about punishment, but about alignment. You can pray, fast, and declare all you want, but if the inner structure isn't ready, God will lovingly hold the blessing until it won't harm you to receive it. He would rather make you wait than watch you break under the weight of what you once begged for. And so this season is about cooperation. You can either resist and delay your release, or you can lean in and speed it up. Leaning in means asking the right questions. What am I supposed to be learning right now? Where am I still clinging to control? What in me still needs to be refined? These questions open the door for faster transformation because God responds to humility, surrender, and willingness. It also means guarding your mind. Not every thought that enters your head is truth. Doubt will whisper that you've been forgotten. Fear will tell you that you've missed your chance. Envy will tempt you to compare your journey to someone else's. But these are the very distractions that slow the process. Your job is to anchor your thoughts in what you know to be true. That God is intentional, that your life is not random, and that this season is part of a larger design. There's a reason chosen ones are often set apart. You cannot carry what the masses carry. Your assignment is unique, your preparation is unique, and your timeline is unique. Others may be allowed to take shortcuts because their calling is lighter. But your calling is heavy with purpose, influence, and generational impact. And that kind of calling demands a level of preparation most will never understand. So if you feel the weight of this process, don't see it as a burden. See it as a sign of your value. God invests the most in what He treasures the most. The delay you're experiencing is the wrapping paper around something priceless. When the moment of unveiling comes, you will not just have the blessing, you will have the wisdom, endurance, and maturity to multiply it. And that, chosen one, is why you cannot skip this. There is a moment in every chosen one's journey when the weight of waiting feels heavier than the promise itself. You begin to wonder if you have misunderstood, if you have been chasing an illusion, if perhaps this path was never yours to begin with. But it is in these moments, when you are closest to surrendering the dream, that you are often standing right at the edge of breakthrough. What you cannot see yet is that the process you are enduring is building something inside you that will outlast the blessing itself. The goal was never just to get you to the promise. It was to make sure that when you arrive, you remain unshaken by what you receive. Without the preparation, the very thing you long for could become the thing that destroys you. This is why God's love sometimes shows up as delay, restriction, or even what feels like denial. It's not because he's holding back, it's because he's holding you together until you are truly ready. One of the most profound truths about this season is that the reward for enduring it is not just the blessing at the end, it's the person you become along the way. Strength is forged in resistance, patience is built in waiting, wisdom is born out of having to navigate the in-between spaces without all the answers. These qualities cannot be gifted to you, they must be grown within you. And the only way to grow them is to remain where God has placed you until the work is complete. You may not realize it, but you are already different. You handle disappointment with more grace than you once did. You see through false promises quicker than before. You sense the shifts in people's energy and intentions without them speaking a word. These are all signs that the training is working. What felt like loss was actually the sharpening of your discernment. What looked like silence was actually the strengthening of your inner voice. And here's the hidden blessing. The longer you stay in this process, the stronger your spiritual immunity becomes. You will not be as easily swayed by fear, flattery, or false opportunities. The world could try to pull you off course, but you will carry an inner anchor that keeps you steady. That is a protection few ever achieve, because most people run from the refining before it is finished. This is also why you have been isolated in certain ways. Heaven is reducing the noise around you so you can hear clearly. It is keeping you out of certain circles so that when you rise untainted by the wrong alliances. It is slowing you down so that your steps align perfectly with the timing of doors opening that you didn't even know existed. And it is protecting you from battles you can't see, battles that would have drained you before you ever reached your destination. You think you are missing out, but what you're really doing is avoiding the traps that have taken others down. You think you're falling behind, but you're actually moving in sync with a timetable that cannot fail. And the moment it all converges, the lessons learned, the timing aligned, the opportunities prepared, it will look to everyone else like you rose overnight. But you and heaven will know the truth. It took years of obedience, faith, and unskippable steps to get here. This is why, chosen one, the at any cost part matters so much. God is willing to risk your temporary frustration to secure your eternal fulfillment. He is willing to allow the misunderstanding of others if it means your mission will remain pure. He is willing to let certain seasons stretch longer than you'd like because he knows that once the release happens, you will never have to look back with regret or wish you had prepared more. So let this sink in. Every day you remain faithful in this season, you are building something that no one can take from you. You are weaving a foundation that will hold not just the weight of your blessing, but the blessings of those connected to you. You are proving to heaven that you can be trusted with what you've been praying for. And trust is the key that will open every locked door in your destiny. There comes a shift in the journey of every chosen one. A point where the air feels different, the pace changes, and the ground beneath your feet seems to move with you instead of against you. This shift is not random. It is the release point, the moment where all the waiting, the preparation, the tears, and the unseen sacrifices begin to merge into a flow that you cannot mistake. It will feel as if everything is happening at once, because in the spiritual realm it is. The acceleration you've been praying for doesn't come when you simply want it. It comes when heaven knows you are able to handle it. That is why the process has been so unskippable. You could not have stepped into this moment without the depth, the discernment, and the endurance that have been forged in you through the seasons you wanted to avoid. Every closed door, every delay, every no you received was actually a yes to this moment, a yes to your readiness. When acceleration comes, it rarely arrives in a straight line. It comes in a series of rapid alignments, people showing up out of nowhere, opportunities finding you without you chasing them, clarity dropping into your spirit like it has been there all along. You will feel the difference because the effort you once strained for will suddenly seem to carry its own momentum. What used to take years of pushing will start unfolding in weeks, sometimes days. But here is the beauty. This acceleration will not overwhelm you because you've been prepared for it. You won't second-guess every step because the training you endured has sharpened your instincts. You won't sabotage your blessings out of fear because you've learned to stand firm in seasons where nothing was certain. And you won't waste energy on what doesn't serve your purpose because you've already been through the pruning that taught you what to release. This is why God could not let you skip ahead. You are not entering this season as the same person who began the journey. You are entering as someone refined, someone proven, someone capable of carrying what others could not. The version of you who once begged for speed is not the version who will steward the reward. You have become someone who understands that divine timing is not a delay. It's a form of protection, an exact alignment that ensures the blessing arrives without hidden damage. You will notice something else in this accelerated season. Things that used to intimidate you will now feel natural. Rooms that once felt too big will feel like they were built for you. Conversations that once made you feel unqualified will now flow from you with ease. This is the evidence that the process was never about holding you back. It was about expanding you until you fit perfectly into the spaces designed for you. And here's the deeper truth. The acceleration is not just about you, it is about everyone your calling touches. The reason your process was so intense is because your assignment is not small. It will ripple beyond you, affecting lives you will never even meet. Heaven needed to ensure that when you step into this role, you do so with unshakable integrity, unwavering focus, and a heart anchored in purpose. So, chosen one, when the signs begin to appear, when the connections come quickly, when the opportunities feel tailor-made, when the pace of your life suddenly picks up, do not hesitate. This is the moment your preparation has been pointing toward. Step into it boldly. Walk through every open door with the confidence of someone who knows they didn't skip a single step to get here. Because the truth is, skipping would have robbed you of the very strength you are now walking in. And now, when the world sees you rise, they will see more than success. They will see the evidence of a life shaped by patience, by obedience, and by the refusal to abandon the process.